Joining me this season are two home chef sisters who believe the Khasi food should be celebrated and elevated. The inaugural project took place in April 2022, marking their journey into India's rising regional movement. Since then, the duo has collaborated with notable brands in the food and beverage industry, including Goya Journal, Mumbai Foodie, among others. Additionally, they've also showcased their dishes to some of India's leading hotels, including ITC Grand Chola in Chennai and the Grand Hyatt in Mumbai. It's time to reserve your table. Daphimanroi and Warjri and Dakiwanri Warjri, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
First of all, I've been dying to have both of you on the podcast, that's for sure. When I met you guys the first time, I was like, elated because I've just been following you guys on Instagram, etc. But now that I have both of you here, it's such an honor. Thank you so much for saying a yes to this interview in the first place. And you both look fabulous, even though I thought you guys would be clad in, Khasi traditional attire, but it is what it is. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
Let's dive straight into the conversation, and the conversation that I want to start with, and that is obviously to get to know both of you deeper as individuals and as sisters, because here at the podcast, we believe that every individual has a story to tell, and that story is very important. I want to know, first of all, the bond between both of you guys, just the bond. Let's not talk about a work relationship bond, but just that sibling bond right when you were younger. Let's start with Dapi.
I think our bond is pretty strong, especially for the fact that we are born on the same day. I mean, we're not twins.
Interesting.
We share a birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was born on her 7th birthday.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, of course, because of the age gap, when I was a teenager, Daki was obviously really young, and to me, she was just, always in my way. And I would be like, Daki, get away from me.
Yeah.
But as the years went by, we both grew up, and then I think now we're the closest.
I like it when you talk about the age gap, because I have this very vast age gap with my own sister. Okay, I'm like probably 15 years older to her. But let me tell you the catch. The catch is this. I'm a millennial and she's a Gen Z. So, but still, see, with the job that I do and a lot of things in between, it's really nice to have somebody from a different generation, because you get to learn so much. For example, their music and what they're interested in, etc.
Yeah.
Daki, how's your relationship with your sister? Like we said, the age gap is there. Was it difficult or easy for you to kind of like blend in? Did you guys get together, let me say, pretty easy?
The thing is, growing up for me, when I was in school, we were both in school around the same time, and then she left school. Because it's a 7-year age gap.
Which school again?
Pine Mount.
Okay.
So Daffy was not really there for like my teenage part of school. And then even when I had gone to college after that, Daffy was also not here anymore. So we weren't really like spending too much time together at that time. So it's actually when she came back to Shillong, when I was also like in my 20s, I think at that time.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think by then, because we both I had grown up and then she was also older. So I think that's when we actually became more like friends.
Right.
Yeah. But before that, I feel it was more like a older and younger sister kind of.
So that means you weren't in Shillong at that point. And then where were you?
So I did my graduation from Bangalore Christ College.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then I was out. I mean, I was working also in Bangalore for some time. So yeah.
So when that happened, I wanted to know. Obviously, you would be in touch with each other via the phone and all of that.
Yeah.
When you decide to get together, when you decide to work together, I will come to the work in detail, because that's one niche concept that really drew me in, and I really want to talk about it. We've talked about it in our previous encounter.
Yeah.
But when you're apart and when you come back, did you realize that there is something missing in terms of how would you want to catch up with each other? You would have stories, I'm sure. She would have stories. You'd have your own set of friends, and you would have your own set of friends. How do two people with the age gap blend in so beautifully? And I say that because I think by the end of this podcast, a lot of people would really relate to both of you on different levels, right?
Mm.
How how did you blend in like that after when you come back and be with each other?
I mean, I think it happened very organically. Like, I don't think there's like a, like textbook kind of thing to it. Like, it just, I guess it's because like growing up.
I think we started partying together.
I was about to ask. I was about to ask. Do you guys fight a lot? Do you guys fight a lot? No, not at all.
We do. Of course, yeah. We do.
I mean, I think that's natural, right? In siblings, because it's like two personalities that are like so alike, but also so different in so many ways.
So when you say personalities alike and different, what are some of the personalities that probably are very familiar and bode well with both of you? Same qualities.
Actually,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of anything in particular, really.
Anything that probably Daki would not like about Daffy? Anything that Daffy would not like about Daki that you've probably...
I don't think we want to get into that right now.
All right?
Come on, let's should not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to become like
we don't want to fight.
After this, it's going to be like, why did you say that about me?
Why then? Why then did you decide? Because I know even though things are very organic between both of y'all, but you have to come to a point where you want to do certain things together and make a difference. What made you come closer together to have that particular goal and fight for it, let's say?
Well, I mean, in terms of
work.
Yeah. Okay, so I think work also happened because Daffy was doing a completely different thing.
Yeah.
I was doing a completely different thing. We were like poles apart in terms of even work, and we did come together for a certain thing. But I think that also happened because I sort of also got into the similar line, like outside of Daffy already being in it, and then I got into it, and then I think that also really kind of like helped us come together. The fact,
but I think also because we already had like this close bond, like Daki said, we became like, we're more or less like friends a lot of the time. So I think, the thought of even working together just kind of fell together like very naturally.
So apart from the two of you as siblings, do you have more sisters, brothers?
We have two older brothers.
Two older brothers and the two girls. So for all of you all in the family as siblings.
2 boys and 2 girls.
2 boys and 2 girls. That balances things out equally, right? Do you fight with the boys?
It's a little cute.
Do you fight with the boys?
Yeah, of course.
You do?
Yeah.
Are they younger to you or older to you?
Older.
Older.
I also work with one of the brothers, so there's fighting there and then there's fighting at home. It's a lot of fighting.
At work and at home.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Also, these guys grew up together, the 3 of them, because they only, 2 older brothers, Daffy and me. And these guys are all just 2 years apart. And then I came in much later.
Okay.
So they grew up together, So then when I came in, like that age gap thing did happen. So, but at some point, like we said, I don't know. I honestly, I can't pinpoint a time, but the ice.
I think it was that. It was the partying together.
Probably. It was the partying together. Where do you guys go?
We probably looked at Daki and thought, okay, it's time now to take her along, So, yeah.
So where do you guys go partying?
No, I mean, like, it's just, like hang out with friends. And
or maybe at home.
Yeah.
Call your friends over?
Yeah.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Talk to us a little bit about your mum and your background, because I met her the last time and I thought she was the sweetest. You get along with her just so easily. Talk to us a little bit about growing up especially, and I wanted to talk about growing up kitchen-wise, because both of you all love food and you're into baking for sure. When you try to picture your mum when she was home, talk to us a little bit about that space and how special does she occupy in each of your lives?
So for me, it was mom and grandmom.
Okay.
Like maid. I grew up with my maid a lot, actually. I spent a lot of time with her also. So for me, a lot of the inspiration comes from both of them. It's not just mom. I watched both of them cook a lot, and and I actually started baking when I was really young. I think I was like 9 years old, because I remember clearly by the time I was 10, I had made 2 cakes on my 10th birthday, which was Daki's 3rd birthday. So I made 2 cakes. One was a chocolate cake and one was a lemon cake. So I had started baking before that, and I remember baking with mom for Christmas, and it was always these Actually, yeah, rock buns.
What are rock buns?
They're these
I
buns that
remember
look like,
those.
actually they're cookies that look like rocks.
That literal.
Yeah.
Literal.
Yeah.
Literal.
And there's also this shortbread cookie, which now, I mean, we actually make and sell
Right.
from the bakery. So those were the special items that we would make for Christmas, you know. So it was every Christmas, my two older brothers and I would sit with mom in the kitchen, and it's nice and warm, and you know, because the oven's on and all of that.
Picture at that time.
Yeah, Daki wasn't in the picture. Yeah, she. I don't even know if she was a thought yet at that time.
Okay. But of course they pamper you at the end of the day, and you are the baby in the family.
No,
not
at all.
Then
That is such a
Now she's the
misconception.
errand runner.
she's the errand runner. It gets your work done easily anyway. So why do you care?
That kaddo thing
The
is
kaddo
a
thing.
huge misconception.
All the property goes to you, so you don't worry about it at all. What about Dad? If you don't mind, tell us a little bit about him, because we don't know much about him. A little bit about who he is and what he does.
Yeah, so our dad, he is a contractor, and so he's been doing that, I mean, since forever, I guess. He was actually working with the PWD,
Okay.
and he retired in, which year was that?
Quite early, actually. He took a voluntary retirement.
Okay,
Okay.
so that was pretty early. And I grew up, I had a ball with my dad when we were growing up, because so I have a cousin, and my Kado's son. So we are around the same age. He's just 2 years younger to me. So every Sunday, we had like this ritual that he would take us out, and we would go to different places. He would take us out to go to... one place he used to take us to is Pinewood, the bar.
Okay.
And that's where so he would be hanging out in the bar. And we would be like running around, you know, that grass place that's outside of Pinewood? So
Right.
that was our playground. And so that's when I actually started having, we used to call it tomato juice.
Tomato juice. It started from tomato juice. Okay. And
They
then it
were,
went on
they
to
were
some.
Virgin Bloody Marys.
Virgin, basically,
Yeah.
basically, yeah,
Okay.
essentially.
Mhm.
So I did, have a pretty good childhood. I mean, my dad was very much my childhood. And yeah, I mean, of course, he's still around at home now, and we do have a different relationship with him. I mean, as compared to our mom, so it's
Right.
a little different.
See, when we talk about Rootstock, this program, and I always want to dwell on family first, because we are shaped by our values and our upbringings and our learnings throughout.
That's true.
If there are a few learnings probably from the home, if in Khasi we say Nalarampe, if there are learnings like that has been carrying both of you right from where it all started to where you are right now. What are some of those learnings probably, Dafi?
I would say from Granddad, actually, I picked up a lot of discipline. He's a very, very disciplined person. He's, I mean, for him, it's like everything has to be ironed out nicely. Like, I remember when I was in school, I literally ironed my school skirt like every single day.
Oh, we as boys do the same thing, by the way. Let me
you
tell
guys
you.
wore
Yeah,
skirts?
I do that. I'm not kidding. I mean, we not skirts, of course, our pants. I mean, what is important for us is our parents don't shelter us too much.
Yeah.
What they do
I
is,
agree.
they want us to do our own thing. That's why we move out of home and go and study outside.
Yes.
We're really not dependent on anybody. We just
Yes,
know what
that's
we have to
true.
do.
That's true.
You tie your own shoelace, you iron your own clothes, you wash your own clothes and all of that. Sorry to
Oh, no,
cut you
but
short.
my shoelaces were tied. Like, literally. Like, my granddad would get down on, like, one knee, and then my one foot had to be on his leg, and then he would tie our shoelaces. So it was my eldest brother,
nice.
and then my second brother, and then me. And so we were always, like, almost like in a line, it was like turn-wise. And then he would comb our hair also, because he was that particular about everything. Like, there would be, like, he would, like, comb our hair back and, like, draw one line, and then, like, there's like a parting. I mean,
I've heard these stories.
yeah, so things like that. Our shirts would be, like, crisp, like, ironed every day. And then, there was a kind of a routine that he would set for us since we were kids. And I think that's helped, especially, like, I personally, I think it's helped me a lot in, like, how I, schedule my day, like, even till now.
No, I think it does have an impact, because especially when you work for yourself, saying that discipline has to be there.
True.
And if it's not there, I don't think you can create another universe without it. What about some of the learnings for you, Daki?
For me, like I said, I think I was just thinking about this the other day actually. That like, because for me, there's a gap between me and the three of them.
Yeah.
So it's not just like the things that I've learned from my parents, but it's actually a lot that I've learned from them.
Oh,
Because they're
Interesting.
sweet.
Yeah. Very true.
No, so it's also not making the same mistakes, you know? That's a big part of it.
What are those mistakes?
Just generally a lot of things. Like, it's because like when you see so much of it, then you kind of figure like, okay, you know what? Maybe I should not be doing this, So actually I have three people to learn from. So I feel like that way it's actually contributed to a lot of who I am also now.
Interesting. Before we, dive into knowing your professions, like on a deeper level, when you were younger, obviously because you're just very vulnerable at that point of time and you really don't know what you want to do in life most of the time. But growing up, do you remember having that particular aim and that goal where you want to get in life in terms of your career? Let's start with Daki. Do you have like that aim and know are you doing what you wanted to do all the while? Or everything that you were doing right now happened by fluke?
Yeah, I think mostly it's by fluke because I don't think I ever really had a set goal, really, when I even... So I was actually in St. Anthony's College.
Okay.
From a very young age, I kind of figured that I was more creatively inclined, like math was my worst subject, really, really bad. So I always knew that I was more into like the creative aspect of everything. So then I kind of figured out that I did want to do a media course. I was actually in St. Anthony's and in the media tech department.
Okay.
So I really loved photography. I at some point did think that I would maybe get into
So when we're here, this space, obviously you can relate to a lot of things happening in here as a media person.
Yeah, but that was textbook stuff like 10 years ago. So now I'm just like, okay, the equipment looks familiar, but yeah.
Duffy, are you actually living your dream?
Yeah.
I think yes, definitely. I mean, I would say that right now I'm at the happiest place in my life.
Right.
Mostly because because I'm baking, which is what I've always loved doing. Like I said, I started baking since I was a kid. But I think it took some nudging from my family to kind of take this up as a career. Even though I was doing it a lot, I was a science student, so I did think of becoming a doctor at some point, an engineer at some point, a veterinarian at some point. So those things did come to mind. But again, I was kind of like a go with the flow kind of person at that time because I wasn't sure about what I wanted to do. But yeah, I'm good with where I am and what I'm doing. I'm really happy.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
When you say you needed a little bit of nudging, so that means I would interpret that as in your parents were very supportive.
Yes,
Yeah?
they were very
supportive because like as a science student and jumping into bakery, so they're pretty much supportive.
Yeah.
Daki, with the dream with what you're doing at the moment, were your parents as equally supportive about it, or?
Yeah, I definitely would say that our parents were very supportive. I mean, I don't think we ever grew up in a very rigid environment where like you have to do this or you have to do that. They kind of left us to our own choices.
Yeah.
And along the way, like I said, I guess you learn from your own mistakes, which then kind of build you up better, right? Like what you should be doing, what you should not be doing. So, and like you said, we kind of are always taught to just fend for ourselves. And so, you just learn how to just be your own person.
And it's really nice to have somebody in the family wherein, with all due respect to kids who, grew up alone without siblings. It must be very lonely, but I'm sure there are the advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah.
But I think for all of us growing in a crowded family, let me say, very crowded.
Okay.
So
yours must be so crowded.
Yeah, we learn a lot. We learn a lot from each other,
How many
and then
siblings do you
you share a lot of clothes together, and so especially with what we do. So I fit into my dad's trousers. My brother fits into my shirt. So there's this kind of bonding that we have, but we don't party because I come from a different family where we're not allowed to even get alcohol in the house. Okay. So we won't talk about that here.
You don't always need alcohol to party.
Interesting. Well, we will take that conversation outside this room.
There's that saying, right? If you don't need to wear shoes to run, but it helps.
There we go. Can we exchange seats? Can you be here? Can I be here? All right, you spoke a little bit about baking, and I did a little bit of research. So there's The Florist, and there's Daffy's.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Daffy's is a brand that I started 14 years ago.
Okay.
It'll be 15 this year in October. So that's, yeah, I started baking. It was a setup at home. It was a room at the front of the house, attached to the house, which was used by my grandmom during the Second World War. She had set up a fair price shop there. So, so there's a lot of emotional attachment to that time and, why I decided to set it up there.
Are you still operating from the same space?
No.
Okay.
So now we've moved to a different space, which is in Lamkra. It's a bigger space. And we've grown a lot, like from a one-person team. Now we're 7 of us. So when I started, actually, it was just me. And I had hired one girl. I had help. But along the way, I decided to go to Bombay and set up another baking brand with my friends in Bombay, which we call The Florist, which started off as a pop-up brand, and then it became a little more like regular, permanent setup. And so while I was in Bombay, actually it was when I decided to go to Bombay, everyone at home were a little worried about where they're going to get bread from because I wouldn't be around to bake anymore for them. And so because the first time I did go there, I knew that I would be away for 3 months. Yeah. So everyone at home was like, what are we going to do without bread for 3 months, Then my eldest brother, Banlam, decided to learn how to make bread. So he was very curious. He was like, just teach me how to make maybe a single loaf or 2 loaves and use the small oven at home, not the commercial oven that I had. So I began teaching him how to bake bread. So he started off with, I think it was maybe 1 loaf or maybe 2 loaves a day just for home.
Yeah.
And then I think neighbors around got the smell of bread again, baking. So they got curious and they were like, hey, who's baking again? We want our bread also. So then my uncle heard that my brother was baking. So he's like, hey, I also want my bread, So then it became maybe, I think Banlam ended up baking like maybe 6 to 8 loaves now instead of just 1 or 2 every time he did bake. Then he got a little more curious about baking. But Banlam also used to bake with me and my other brother Lamshai when we used to bake with mom, right? During Christmas and Banlam used to really enjoy baking. So I think when he started baking the breads, like he got a little more curious. He started doing his own research, like watched YouTube videos and stuff. And so for him, it's a lot of self-taught, learnings.
Yeah.
So, and so those are the 2 brands that I had set up. But as of now, Florist is no longer functioning in Bombay. And I'm back here. It's been a year now. And we've expanded. We've really grown. So
right now, Banlam and yourself runs Daffy's Bakery.
Yes.
Right? And let me tell you, your butter shorts are like to die for.
Thank you so much.
My friends, I remember when I was in Guwahati for some time, and they would, every time I come home, they're like, please go to Regetta.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I know. I've heard so many people
took that.
Yeah. So the butter shorts are actually the shortbread cookies that we would make for Christmas. No, like those are the things that I knew I had to put on the menu. When I decided to set up the bakery, I was like, those cookies need to be on the menu. Yeah.
Speaking about menu, now you have like a full home delivery menu.
Yes,
Is it just for home delivery, or you supply it to other retail stores as well?
No, we supply breads and cookies to retail stores because those are things that can go up on shelves.
Okay.
But like cakes and pastries and pies and all cannot just be placed on some shelf somewhere, So those go as like home delivery.
Okay.
Those are on the home delivery menu.
Apart from your butter shorts, what actually work for people here? Your breads?
The breads for sure.
What's ever in the menu?
Surprisingly, yeah. Like the Hokkaido milk bread is something that I started making in Bombay.
Okay.
And it's quite a premium bread, so to say. There's a lot of butter, there's a lot of milk that goes into it. So when I did think of introducing it here, I was a little skeptical as to whether like people would take well to it or not.
And why is that?
Just because it's a little more premium, a little more highly priced, sort of. But yeah, we took the risk, and people love it now. So
Yeah, it's actually a household.
But would you agree with me if I say that, bakery items are normally highly priced for some reason? For example, your pastry. I'd say you'd get, let's say, a strawberry pastry or a lemon pastry would be $180. Would you sell it at 180? Would you sell it at 180, for example, if you have to sell a pastry?
I think, yeah. Depending on the ingredients that you used, and also, like for instance, if you're going to say strawberry, that's a seasonal fruit, So if you do use the fresh fruit, you make your compote in-house and all of that, of course, that would cost more. It would be priced highly because there's a lot of effort and time that's put into making that product.
So how do you tread then cautiously? Because everybody's looking for, environmentally sound, but still socially, good bakery items. So how do you tread that line? Because everybody wants to eat healthy stuff these days. And a lot of my friends, I don't know, I can be very wrong, say that bakery items are really not that healthy.
I won't agree with saying bakery items are not healthy. First of all, I think, to really be healthy, you need a balanced diet.
Okay.
So, for it to be unhealthy would mean that you're consuming too much of something, right? It could be sugar, it could be anything. But right now, I think carbs and sugar is always the enemy, which actually shouldn't be that way. Like for instance, if you were to eat a pastry, like you can't be having like 4 slices of cake at one go, like go for one, and that's good enough, I would say. So, yeah.
Anything in your ingredients that you add, there would be like people who are more health conscious would probably like to throng your bakery. Anything that you do specially with keeping them all healthy stuff for them?
The multigrain bread, for sure. Yeah, that has 0 sugar in it. There's no refined flour, no maida. It's 100% whole wheat. And it has lots of seeds, with
and oats. And stuff. Yeah, we eat that at home.
Yeah, the nutritional value of the product is quite good. Yeah.
So from a baker, and then you transition into being a chef. We will talk into that a little bit in detail. But earlier you mentioned one thing which I really like, which is called self-made. At a time when people talk about skills, and at a time when people talk about let's get degrees, let's get our PhDs, but still there are a lot of people out there with a lot of skills and doing very well in life. I want to start first by asking you a question on skills. How important is it for somebody to have those skills? Let's say a little bit of just a decent amount of theory. How important are skills, especially with the kind of job that you do? Let's start with Daki. Just skills.
Are we talking about the cooking?
Yeah, the cooking.
Yeah. I would say that I think a skill can always be learned. But I also think that a lot of people do naturally have it. So it's really about, like for me personally, I figured it out much later in life. Like literally, I think when I was about when I had hit 30, is when I kind of figured out that, oh, wait a minute, like this is something that I actually can do and I actually like to do it, So I think it's one of those things where for some people, they figure it out at a very young age that they have that skill. And so they work on it. And so, they reach their goals, I guess, a little earlier. But I think for other people, it's about figuring it out along the way, like slowly. So, yeah, I guess, like I said, it's either about you learn a skill or if you naturally have it. So I feel like that's...
So Dafi, with what you do, and especially as a woman entrepreneur, how easy is it for you to maneuver a space here in Shillong when it comes to bakery? Post-pandemic, we've got these bakeries mushrooming everywhere in town. Does that get your job easy? How does it feel? Do you see a competition in there?
First of all, I try not to look at other brands as competition. It's more of like, maybe I would say they're like, it's a healthy challenge for me. Somebody with a really good product,
Right.
I see that as a challenge more than competition. Like I feel like it pushes me to do better, to make something better if I can, like, better than theirs, or, sort of. So, yeah, but I think we're lucky that way, that we're in Meghalaya and that women are respected a lot in terms of being a woman entrepreneur. I think it's rather easy for us. We have it really easy here. Yeah.
Why do you say we have it easy?
In the sense that we're not, like I said, like we're very well respected. We're very well regarded, right? Women. So, it's like people don't make it difficult for you to get something done.
So how different was it when you were in Bombay?
It actually, so in Bombay, I think I was lucky enough to have good friends and good contacts there. So in a way, I have been very lucky.
Sure.
Like it's been sort of smooth sailing for me.
Right.
It's been easy that way.
So when you bring back, with the exposure that you get from outside, when you bring back all of that home, right? How much of what you've gained and garnered when you were there, how much of that is being implemented into what you're doing at the bakery at the moment?
Very honestly, I would say it's all about hard work. Like being outside of Shillong, obviously it's not easy because I don't have family there, right? I was always looking out for myself. So there are a lot of things that I need to plan for myself, to do for myself, right? To look after myself that way. So yeah, there's a lot of hard work, in daily life. And I think for me, yeah, it's that I've learned to like work hard at whatever I'm doing.
So, Daki, when we speak of entrepreneurs, especially women entrepreneurs, when you look at what the government is doing at the minute with your Prime, I'm not just talking about entrepreneurs here in town, we're talking about entrepreneurs even in the rural areas as well.
Yeah.
How do you look at initiatives like that? Do you see this as a welcoming step, probably to get more people do the thing that they like?
Yeah, definitely, I would say yes. Because actually recently we were just inquiring about something, and we had gone to the arts and culture department, and then we found out that they were giving out grants for people doing research in like the food and beverage industry of Meghalaya specifically,
right?
The produce that we get from here and all of that stuff. So that's definitely one thing. And I remember quite a while ago that we attended a workshop for women entrepreneurs who were trying to market things like, again, their turmeric, spices, all of that stuff. So that was a long time ago. So I've seen a lot of work being done by the government. And I think that it's really nice because, especially in terms of food, it is so important for us to value and celebrate what we have here, because we don't get it in so many other places, right? Like a lot of the stuff that we get here is GI tagged, it's indigenous to the place. So I think it's really important that the government is making these, is taking this initiative to actually help the people, especially because we are historically also like an agrarian society, right? We have always been farmers. So I think that's actually really, it's a strong point.
Yeah. And I've seen both of you at festivals here in town, culinary festival, let's say, or even the Winter Tales. How do you think these platforms actually help entrepreneurs, especially like yourselves? Let's talk personally. I mean, how has it helped you, Daffy?
Yeah, she's had the bakery at.
Yeah, you've had the bakery at the Culinary Cascade the last time as well.
Yeah,
how has it helped you in terms of?
It's a great platform because it gives you a lot of recognition. And for instance, like there are some customers who had come to the stall who didn't know that we even existed.
Apart from all your advertisements and marketing, do you think that is a good platform to get your products out there quickly?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Yeah, especially locally, yeah.
So when we talk about food, you have very less involvement in the bakery, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but then
involvement.
But then
I did try to make
but then it didn't work.
So
but then it didn't work. Okay.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Like you said earlier, you have
but
your
she's
siblings.
the guinea pig. She's actually the quality check officer.
Which is nice, right? But then it didn't stop there. Even though she might be the guinea pig, but then you guys started something which, like I said at the beginning, something very niche that has actually captured my imagination. Simply because we don't have anything like that here in town as we speak. I won't say much because I know that is your baby and you've loved it so much, and I can see the twinkle in both of your eyes. Talk to us a little bit about Simbai in the first place. We know what it is, but for the benefit of the viewers who don't know what Simbai is all about, explain to us what the term means and its inception. Any one of you.
Should I mention?
Yeah, you came up with the name.
Yeah. So the Simbai was actually a name that I had initially wanted to use for something else. Like I was actually sitting through pages of the Khasi English dictionary trying to find like a good meaningful word,
Okay.
So I wanted to use it for a completely different thing. That was also one of those things somewhere in the middle that I wanted to get into and it didn't work out. So, and then when this, so like I said, for me, the food thing actually happened pretty late in life. So, and when that happened, the interest in food was actually during COVID because we didn't really get a lot of the stuff that we wanted to eat, right? It was not readily available because all of the shops were closed and there was no Swiggy or anything like that. So, so then I decided, you know what, like maybe I should just make some of this stuff. So then that's when the cooking thing started. And that's also when like I think it really piqued my interest in like local ingredients, indigenous ingredients, and maybe like working with them a little differently versus how we usually eat them or how we use them in the kitchen. So that happened, and it so happened that there's a friend of mine who's also in the culinary industry. She's I mean, their family has a hotel in Shillong. So she was also then, like we became really close. We bonded over that same thing because she was also trying to do a similar thing, like trying to work with local ingredients. And so then that was actually, I think in 2021 was when we did our first pop-up in thing. Yeah.
That was it?
No, 22.
22 in Pondicherry, I suppose?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but 2022, February was when it was one of those situations where you just let a bird out of the nest and you can just learn and let that bird learn how to fly. It was like that for me because she was like, let's do a pop-up. I'm like, but I've never even been in a kitchen before, like this is a proper hotel kitchen. And she was
So it was her idea and then you came up with the name. Am I correct?
No. Right now she's talking
I'm
about,
talking about
her friend.
Okay.
Yeah,
The friend.
The friend, yeah. So that was my first ever pop-up being in a kitchen, So, and that same year in March, I think.
No, that was, I think April, because our pop-up was April.
Yeah.
Or maybe towards end of March.
Yeah. She calls me and she says, I am cooking Khasi food for friends here. She was living in Pondi at the time and they love it.
Okay.
Like they love the food, they love the flavors.
Yeah.
And another friend had suggested, why not do a pop-up with Khasi food? So then Dafi calls me and she's like, should we do like a Khasi food pop-up? So I was like, okay, cool. Like maybe we could give it a try,
Yeah.
So that's when I went to Pondi and we did our first ever. And the name then came about, I think after like 2 or 3
events, yeah.
Yeah, and then people were like, do you guys have a card? Do you have a name?
Do you have an Instagram page?
Yeah. Like,
So that means the response was very good initially.
It was, yeah. So then that's when we were like, okay, you know what? We actually have to, like, this is going towards building a brand.
Yeah.
Because we didn't imagine it to be that. We were just doing it for fun,
Yeah.
And speaking of the project, now, how many pop-ups have you had so far?
22, I think, up until...
Yeah, I think around 22, 24, maybe.
22,
Yeah.
So what happened at Pondi then with the very first project? I mean, how excited were people? Can you describe to us the scene at that point in time? Because I'm sure they were introduced to an all-new concept and a new cuisine altogether.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit because it was your first.
Yeah. I think concept-wise, I mean, the pop-up concept had been around for a while. But the cuisine, yes, was very, very exotic, I would say, at that point. I mean, it still is. Yeah, everybody was really excited because we planned, I mean, we had planned the menu and we wanted to do a 2-weekend event.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 2 weekends.
Yeah, it was 2 weekends. And I mean, as soon as I think the day that we put up the link for the tickets, because we were selling tickets, the day we put up the link, I think we were sold out in like 4 hours or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was mostly like friends of the people who actually helped us out. So,
and there were even people who, and there were people who were from Chennai who had driven to Pondi just for this.
There was a guy who cycled also, remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
He cycled all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the people were excited.
So what did you put up in terms of dishes on that project? What did you decide on the menu?
Just them. Daki had actually flown down like with a suitcase full of ingredients, literally, and there was jammer dog in
my
that.
check-in was also everything. There was just
Like she
food in
traveled
my
with
check-in bag,
leaves, like fresh leaves. Yeah, we had just them. I remember there was Dosnyang Nayong at that point, I think.
Sauce how clear.
Yeah, we did sauce au clair with jammer dog.
Okay.
What else did we do? I think there was a thet jammer dog chutney.
I think so. I don't remember. That was a long time ago now.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
But do you try to keep your menu as the same, or does it change like every pop-up that you do? Is it just a fixed menu that you have in terms of the dishes, or you would change what you cook? I understand, okay, the courses can change probably, or do you change courses as well? Do you have like first, second, third, fourth, or you can go to a fifth course?
No,
How
it's
does it
always been 4.
4?
Yeah, from the
Okay.
time that we started.
Okay.
No, but it was also, I think, something that we figured out along the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when we started off, the very first one, again, like Daffy said, again, self-taught, right? So we didn't have previous like menu experience or planning experience for like an event or like a sit down
Right.
Yeah.
for guests and things like that. So we kind of just had to figure it out, So yeah, along the way, then we did settle on that we do have a 4-course menu, and we structured it that way. And we keep because we do have now like a set MO sort of like of how we want the menu to be. So most pop-ups, I think after the 5th onwards, we have stuck with the same thing.
So it's fixed after the 5th project, which is really nice.
Yeah.
So when we talk about cuisine from the Northeast, and in particular our own food, a lot of people, it's not easy for a lot of people to like what we eat. So how do you bridge that gap? For example, of course, you're not cooking tungrumbay for them, that's for sure, are you? Of course you're not.
We do, yes.
We do, but
So how's the reaction? Let's talk about that, because a lot of my friends obviously won't like it. So how do you, because that's a difficult and a tricky situation when you get your food out there and people have to say something about it, and how do you fix that problem then and there?
I mean, what we've done is actually incorporated tungrumbay in a very minimal sort of way.
Not overpowering?
Yeah, it's not overpowering, and you're not eating the bean, like how we eat tungrumbay, like chutney, like that.
Yeah.
We don't serve it like that, but we've incorporated it into one of our courses in a very mild way. So the flavor of it comes through, but it's not overwhelming.
Okay.
It's like, you kind of like ease people into it.
Yeah.
So how do you divide your work then? Who does what in terms of, let's say, you have finances, then you have the creativity bit, and then a lot of logistics. You carry a lot of things in your suitcases, and So how do you divide work between both of you guys? Who does what?
I don't think we have like set rules that we ever set for each other.
I mean, till now we don't really have that.
Really? So, for example, who's cooking the first course? Who's cooking the second course? Or just how do you divide it?
So actually, Daki always makes the.
Yeah.
She does the salads.
Okay.
Yeah, she does the soup.
I do the soup. The soup.
I make the jar.
Okay.
I remember there was a chef once who's like, "Does it take this long to make soup?"
And what soup is it?
So that's the so traditionally ngibam or sarwater soup.
So yeah.
Dosnyang. So what we did, and we eat that with tungrumbay. That's the combination. Like that's the staple, right? So what then we figured out how a good way to introduce tungrumbay to people outside of here is to actually use it in a soup, like how Japanese people would use miso.
Oh, interesting.
So it's actually really nice. But then we use tungrumbay doki, not the black, not the khasi tungrumbay. So that has worked out really well actually, because that flavor, that aroma is, I mean, it takes a little getting used to, I think, but it's also one of those things, right? Like I feel like food is so subjective. You can't expect everybody to like make. And you can't and what I like, you may hate. Like the three of us may not agree on one thing. So if you look at it that way, it's not really about ever doing it to get people to like what you're doing. But I think that's, I mean, for us, it's mostly because also we are helping to sort of promote the culture.
Yeah.
Like it's not really like an ego-driven thing. So.
That's our aim and purpose actually, to put Khasi food out there. Yeah.
So when you talk about courses, give us step by step about the first course, the second, the third course, and the fourth course. Let's talk about. Would you start with what, your salad first, or straight away to your just them?
No,
So we start with soup.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we've changed the first course actually, because we've actually done pop-ups in, like, let's say it's a place that's hot
Yeah.
lunch, then you
Serve the soup would be weird.
Yeah.
So you adjusted accordingly.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
made some. We have a little creations.
Yeah.
These light starter, like bite-size light snacks kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Uh,
And then the second course is usually the salad, which a
Okay.
lot of people really like.
Mm.
So we name it sokle a bit because it's actually the traditional thing of pomelo, orange and mustard oil. So we serve it that way, a little different. Obviously, we add some leaves to it, and
Yeah.
that's all.
And the leaves, I mean, as much as we can, we try to get mustard leaves or mustard greens. Yeah. So it's literally the sokle that we eat.
You know, I have an interesting question because as Khasis, we really don't have too much of a sweet tooth. So towards your dessert, what do you make then? I mean, I don't have much of a sweet tooth, but when you take your food outside this region, I'm sure a lot of people are used to having dessert after every
There's an
meal. So
expectation of
yeah,
dessert,
what do you do then? And make sure that your dessert is as traditional. What do you
So
mean?
it's not really, I mean, I wouldn't say it's traditional, but it's just, it's a practice here. It's a common practice here, which is shrieu and ngap,
Okay.
right? I don't know if you've eaten it before, but at least at home, that's how we eat it. Like we would slice up we slice up the shrieu and then just put some honey on it, ngap, and have that as a tea snack, you know? So that is, I mean, the dessert we do is a version of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you have sous chefs who help you when for example, the Taj calls you, and you know the Grand Hyatt calls you? It's not just two of you, and you have other sous chefs. How do you teach them?
It's actually like on the spot. It's because it's usually the day off,
Okay.
you know. So it is like a pretty high pressure environment. Honestly, there's a lot of adrenaline. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Of, like,
Yeah.
But actually,
Very,
we do
very
have-
master chef kind of environment.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, it has been.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it has been pretty hectic.
not to that level.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is.
It is hectic.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
pressure. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we get help from them for sure, from the
Yes.
places like the hotels or the restaurants that we go and do our events at. But it's always Daki and I doing the cooking, the heavy work. Like the real cooking is always like we handle that. So, but like they would be helping
Yeah.
us with.
But I'm sure
other things.
when it comes to plating, also you guys would do it because you would
Yeah.
know where you want to place your elements
Yes.
accordingly.
Yeah.
Now, who goes out and talk to the guests and explain the food? Because that's very important, right? Because what is in front of them, they would not know. So who goes out and do all of that?
We both do.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've.
Why do you grin like
No,
that?
because you know, when you look at MasterChef, it's just really interesting when these guys stand there, because obviously, like you said, the pressure is there in the kitchen, and then they go out there and they're all, you know, composing themselves just to stand and explain their dish. And what is interesting is that, you know, they love what they do so much, and then it just comes across as very effortless. And of course, nobody's going to judge your food, but at the end of the day, like you said, food is very subjective.
Yeah.
What I like, you might not like. What you like, your guests might not like. After more than 20 projects that you've done so far, pop-up, yes. Have you ever thought of having a space of your own, a fixed space? Because I'm sure the logistics right now would be chaotic, right?
Yeah.
But if you have your own space, let's say here in town, do you intend to have something like that? Anything in the pipeline?
We actually, I mean, it's not in town.
Okay.
We decided to open a cloud kitchen in
Okay.
Guwahati, and we're calling it Jabol.
Jabul.
Yeah.
Jabol.
Okay.
So we don't want to give away too much because it's actually not, it's not open yet. It's in the works.
Okay.
So that's actually what we're planning, because I guess along the way, like you said, the number of pop-ups we've done, we've learned so much, you know.
Yeah.
And we've also learned then in the process that people actually love Khasi food.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people who've never tried it have had it, and they actually want to eat it again. You know, it's one of those,
Okay.
it's like, it's that type of food. So it's also very, it's balanced, it's healthy, all of that. So like you said, people are so health conscious now about food. And I think Khasi food really fits in really well with that idea of healthy food, you know?
Yeah.
So
See, when I met you guys for the first time, we talked about it's not just about food, it's not just about ingredients, but it's about the experience that people are buying right now. So with what you do, of course, we see plating, and I would imagine, do you plate in like the normal cutlery that we get, or do you want to take probably, let's say, black clay from here? Would you probably want to pair your food with, let's say, local Khasi wine? Do you do something of that sort?
We've tried, but yeah, logistically it was difficult for us to get the black clay pottery to all the different cities. They're really fragile. But so as part of the experience that we give to people is the cocktails that are served with the food. So there's always like 2 cocktails that get served with the food, and as much as we can, we try to. At a few of the pop-ups, actually, we've managed to use indigenous ingredients like the lakadong, honey from here, and then soyong from here, the pepper, neli also, perilla. So, yeah.
So just thinking out loud, I understand the pop-up probably here. We know our own food, so probably it might not work too much for us. But let's say you invite people from outside, do the pop-up here, because the weather is amazing, and apart from the experience that they get from food, you can actually take them around and show places. Have you ever thought of it?
I mean, I think we did, but we've never really talked about it extensively. But it has come up, and there have been people who have actually asked.
It could, yeah. So we will not talk about Jabul because that's something that is still in the pipeline.
Yeah.
But you also have something coming up, which is called. And I want you to say it. There's a coffee table. There's a coffee table book.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it. What is it called?
So the book, we've decided to call it Nari Shangi.
Nari Shangi.
Yeah. Yes. So essentially, it's a photo book that highlights 10 ingredients from here. We've narrowed it down to 10 for now.
Okay. Maybe indigenous ingredients.
The book of more ingredients, because we have so much here.
Yeah.
So this one is it'll feature 10 ingredients, because we realized again through doing our pop-ups that a lot of people, when we talk to them about the food, they're very curious about the ingredients, because a lot of them, like I said, are GI tag, indigenous to this place. And so we, there was a gap there. People didn't actually understand what it was. They didn't know what it looks like. They don't know where it comes from, the history of it, all of that. So that's what the book will do. It's actually show people, educate people exactly about what those ingredients are.
And when will that be out?
That's also in the works, right?
So that is, you're also not allowed to say anything on it.
No, I mean, we've already said so much. And we also got a really good friend. His name is Anurag. He's also from Shillong. He's a photographer. So he's the photographer on the book. He's taken some great pictures.
Yeah. Nice. We've actually done quite a bit. We've traveled to quite a few villages around for the photo shoots.
To curate everything.
Yeah.
And we've learned so much.
Yeah.
And the beauty of just, these different places in Meghalaya. I think it's very, very fascinating, and all the work that these people are doing and all of that stuff. It's at grassroots level, So it's
and the people we've met. One of the things that I always hear from people who travel here is that Khasi people are really friendly and polite and helpful and really, really generous, and even we experienced that actually at some of the villages that we went to. Like some people would invite us to their homes, they'd be like, just rung hapo, disha, kandiat, and they'd actually make us a cup of tea and serve us some small snacks. And so we've met some really, really wonderful people along the way. We have.
So if there's one place that you would like to take your pop-up to, a place that you've never done it before, what would that place be here in India?
Goa.
Why so? Why so?
Because their palate is, their food is palate food. I guess both. They would really appreciate Khasi food. Because we also have a lot of dry fish here, which actually would not really work in a lot of places unless it's coastal places, because they are used to drying fish and things like that. So Goa is definitely one of the places. We've actually had opportunities where we almost had it, but then it didn't work out. So also traveling from here logistically
is difficult.
It's difficult.
Yeah. But of all the pop-ups that you've done so far, what is one pop-up which is memorable to you in terms of people's reaction, in terms of how people accepted our culture and, probably made it their own and enjoyed it, and some of the best feedback. What is that one project and which place that would probably stay in your heart for a very long time?
I think it's the Bombay one, the PCO one. That's really good.
Yeah. The one at a bar called PCO.
Yeah. We did that with the Swiggy team.
Yeah.
And that was so good. And we also had a chef who was so helpful.
Okay.
He was really, really helpful.
Yeah. And he had a really good team that was just working with us really well. And I think the whole setup of the space itself was really nice. Yeah.
And that's the thing, that's the thing, right? It's just whatever looks good on the outside, it'll never work without the people who are actually in the background, in the back doing the hard work. So we're very great. I mean, that team from that restaurant particularly was so good to work with.
Right. So after doing all of this, and I'm sure that it's not a cakewalk, because to carry the ingredients, to take it to a place and make everything happen is not a joke. If probably, the farm to table concept is one thing that a lot of people relate to at the moment. You take a lot of fresh ingredients.
Yeah.
Do you think this is just a trend, or do you think this will actually go on a very long way?
I think it will go on a very long way.
Okay.
I think it's also more sustainable.
Yeah,
for sure. Because we are a very, very highly, we are the most populated country in the world.
True.
So actually supplying that food to so many people will get very difficult. So I think we actually here, I think, are very lucky because we do get fresh produce, So, and a lot of the time, the people who come and sell in Yodo, it's actually stuff that they grow in their own houses sometimes.
No, I like it when everything's connected actually to farmers, because
of course, this is not possible without.
True.
We wouldn't have food on our plates without farmers.
Yeah.
So what do you do in terms of, is this, I would look at it as something very seasonal. It is very seasonal. So during the time when there's no work, of course you would have you have your bakery and you might have your own thing to do as well. But when people want to get in touch with you, obviously there's Instagram, and if there's a website, probably they can go to the website and find out. But apart from that, how would people reach out to you and know that, listen, if I want to pop up, and probably they come up to you, what's the marketing strategy like?
That's a little bit of a back and forth actually, because so it's usually people reach out to us over DM, send an email, because it's one of those things from one event, you hear about it from another person, and then it goes on to another person. Yeah. So we've actually gotten a lot of calls because of that.
Yeah. Most of our exposure is through Instagram, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do you plan to expand it beyond Instagram? Because at the end of the day, for me, my visiting card would be your website. So the second you have a website, it's easier for people to get to know more of your work. Anything like that?
I didn't know that visiting cards still exist.
I said for me, a visiting card would be the website.
You ask, we have a visiting card.
People still give. I'm not kidding. Yeah.
Nowadays, it's just what's your Instagram handle?
Yeah.
So now after, like I mentioned, after 2021, 22 projects, what does success look like to you now versus that point of time when you started off in 2022?
I mean, I think it's been pretty consistent.
Yeah.
We've had obviously some events which did not go as well. We had to learn from those because every pop-up is different, right? Every scenario is different.
Yeah.
It's a
every kitchen is different.
Every kitchen is different. Every setup is different. So you learn something different from each one. But I think, I don't think it's been an upward climb kind of thing. It's all been like a consistent thing. Yeah, I would say it's been consistent.
It's consistent. Yeah. I mean, I wish you the best of luck, obviously, for all of that. Let's get to know more about you guys apart from Simbai. If you weren't chefs, if you weren't doing what you're doing in your personal life with other works as well that you do, if you weren't baking, what would you guys be doing?
I think. Oh, sorry.
I think I would be singing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to sing to you.
No, I'm not. She's nodded like twice, singing. Singing.
I'm sure of it.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
And you won't sing for us. And why is that?
Yeah, I won't.
Okay. Daki, what about you? What do you be doing?
For me, I think it's. I mean, like I said, Simbai was actually a like somewhat music projects that I wanted to get into. Like I have a deep, deep love for music. I feel like it's a very big part of me. So I would definitely want to get into it. I'm not sure exactly how, but it's like in some way, like basically sharing music, sharing knowledge about it, like the history of music, the complexities of it. Because like even right now, most of my Instagram, like I have people call it like a Finsta, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so that page is just like, I just follow music pages, like I just like to be in the know of like what is happening in the music world and everything. So I think that's definitely something.
What kind of music do you listen to?
A lot. Different. Like I listen to a lot of different genres of music. I feel like I've expanded my taste over the years.
What do you think of
like
indie music?
Indie, yeah, it's good.
Yeah?
Yeah. But indie also means like, there's two types of indie, right? Indie could mean independent or it could be the indie rock kind. So, yeah, I mean, I think independent music is great. It's great for artists because a lot of them struggle when they go via like a label and things like that. Like Spotify is, again, another pretty controversial platform. So
why do you say controversial platform?
Because artists don't get anything from it.
Okay, that's interesting. Can you tell us more?
Yeah, so like basically when you put a song out on Spotify, the artists actually get like a super small cut of it. It's really, really small.
Okay.
Per stream, so people don't really make too much out of it.
Oh, that's news.
Yeah. See, that's how we're so alike. Like I said, I would be singing, and she's also into music. So we're still in the same industry.
Okay, but you believe in fitness as well. The baker,
How did you know that?
Well,
Have you been stalking me?
People do research. You call it stalking. I call it research. Yeah.
Yeah, I am into fitness.
Yeah. So you bake and you make sure that you also stay fit.
Yes.
What do you tell people to do? Eat a lot of bakery stuff, and then how do they stay
burn
fit
all the
then?
calories?
Yeah. Eat all the. So basically, I feed them the sugar, and then I tell them,
What do you do to stay healthy, Daffy?
What do I do to stay healthy? I work out.
What time do you wake up? What do you do in terms of exercise?
I do like very basic weightlifting at home. I have like small weights and stuff, and there's a little bit of like calisthenics sort of moves, and then
Let's move on to favorite places that you like to travel personally or as a family or just as sisters to unwind, apart from all the hectic work that you do probably with the job. Favorite places that you'd like to travel outside or maybe here within Meghalaya just to unwind and have a good time?
For me, actually, I have a friend who lives in Goa. She's moved there. So I really, I mean, since she moved there, I go there a lot. And I actually really like being there because I really like coastal places. I've always been drawn to coastal places. So that's definitely one place for me. It's almost like home.
So you're more of a beach person, not more of a mountain person or a beach person?
I don't think I would pick one because I like both. I feel like they're both different and they both have their own beauty.
No, you're not a mountain person.
There you go.
I mean, I like to go, not like a trek. I would
Not like a trek.
But no, a trek is fine, but not like a rock climbing, like hectic adventure thing, So.
You want to do it with a lot of comfort. Just say that.
Like glamping. No. No. Not that much. But I do. The thing is, so we live in Malki and there's a forest right there.
Yeah, so we are mountain people.
Yeah, forest people.
We live on the hill. Yeah, like when I tell my friends, I'm like, my house is on a hill, and they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, it's on a hill.
What's the favorite place? Any favorite place that you've visited so far? And why do you like it so much?
Kerala is one of the places that I really
I haven't been.
Yeah, I mean, I visited Kerala a long time ago when I was in college. I think that was back in 2006 maybe. Yeah, beautiful place.
Okay.
And another place that I really, really liked, actually, I went there when I was really young, was Arunachal Pradesh. It's so beautiful. It's so scenic. Even though the memories that I have of it now are a little vague, because I think I was like 12 years old when I went there.
Okay.
But I remember these really nice rivers that we crossed, and really beautiful. It was really peaceful.
If you were to do, I'm sorry to take the conversation back to Sambai, because I was just thinking, if you were to do this project, let's say individually, would you take up this project and do it I mean, on your own? For example, if Daki wants to do it, will you do it on your own without Dafi? Would you do it? Would you continue and take Simbai further without Daki?
I'm looking at you.
I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Trust issues.
No, I think, I mean, yeah, for me, I mean, till now, like, Daki does say, like, there have been a few calls, like, to do a pop-up somewhere outside.
No, I asked before you answer. I asked because, sometimes you might not be free or sometimes, God forbid, you fall ill, so how does it work?
Yeah. I think, I mean, we haven't been put in a situation like that.
Yeah, we actually haven't.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we have, like Daki has said, like, if there is this opportunity for a pop-up. So, but I know that I can't go. So, but if you can and you want to do this, it's like you can do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know, I have thought about it sometimes, but with a menu that vast, I think it's a little difficult to, divide the work and take on all the work alone. Yeah.
See, what about you? Would you do it alone?
So, I mean, the Simbai model we've always done together. But like there was a pop-up, not a pop-up, it was a friend's wedding kind of a thing. That was the first time that I actually handled it alone. But Simbai itself, I think what makes it Simbai is the fact that we do it together.
Yeah.
It's because we are, that's sort of like a selling point, I don't obviously.
Now we're also known as the
that it's
Simbai
only-
sisters.
Simbai sisters.
A lot of people call us the Simbai sisters.
I want to ask you a question because we talked about, the cafe culture here in town. Do you think the cafe culture is helping or hurting the visibility of traditional food?
I think it can help if people do incorporate more local food in cafes.
Mm-hmm.
Because the concept of a cafe is always more European food, right? So I think that, and because the thing is, the cuisine itself, like Hasi food, a lot of, I feel people don't think of the aspect of the fact that we do have light things as well, like the rice cakes that we eat. We have like, I think 10 or 15 different kinds of
So many different.
rice cakes that we have with tea or that could be had with coffee. So I feel like those can be worked around to make it more appealing to the younger generation, change it up a little bit. I feel like it has a lot of potential, which I feel like a lot of people are not doing and it could be done. So.
What's your take, Dafi?
I think actually what I've realized is that a lot of the local food that we serve is mostly at like these Khasi food stalls, and the way that they are set up, they would not, nobody would recognize a Khasi food stall and like, for somebody who's traveling from outside, who's visiting Shillong, they look at a Khasi food stall. It's not really very, it doesn't look like a regular cafe or restaurant that somebody would be used to, right? Like we know about them because they're around and we know the kind of food that they serve and like we know we want to eat that food for lunch, so we would go there. But yeah, I think it wouldn't catch the attention of somebody who's traveling. So I think that like Putharo or like for Puklen, in fact, if something like that was served in a cafe setup, I think that would really help.
So, are there any local eateries here that you feel are genuinely doing justice to our cuisine? Any restaurant that's doing it correctly? Any cafe, in your opinion?
I would say Rinsan.
Okay.
Rinsan's doing a great job. Even Ishana, the one that's on the same floor as Shot Sky.
Yeah.
I feel like those guys, it was the second time I had gone recently with family. It was mom's birthday dinner, I think.
Okay.
So we had gone there for a family dinner and everything was so authentic, but also made to appeal to, of course, like Dafi said, the sad reality of things is that some people may not want to walk into a Jador shop.
Right.
Because they may feel that it is not to their level, right? Because India, the socio-economic disparity is pretty bad over here. So we do have to then have places that appeal to a certain group of people. And I feel like a place like Ishana is really great because they've actually managed to keep the flavors so close to the original thing.
Yeah.
But the setup is, like it's a nice restaurant and like they plate it differently. It's presented to better. So I think that those guys are doing a really good job. Even Trattoria is doing a good job, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please note.
The tourists. What? You don't like Trattoria?
No, we all love Trattoria. Why don't we love Trattoria? We love it. I think there are two sides here. For example, of course, those are setups here in town. But then I think as for tourists who come all the way, they're looking for something which is authentic. They're looking for something which is really straight from, our depays.
Yeah.
And they want to see all of that. Like I said earlier, it's always about the experience.
Yeah.
Now, having traditional food at a well-lit restaurant, having traditional food in like, a space where you're being fed by your servers, that's a whole different experience. And then you're getting it from, let's say, Abhoy, or you go all the way to Smith, that's a kind of a different experience. If you were to, if Simba had to probably evolve from a pop-up and then into a physical space where we can come and sit and dine, how would you do it differently from what we already have here in town? You just mentioned Rinsan.
Yeah.
You just mentioned Ishana. How would you do it differently? How would you package Simba in such a way that I wouldn't miss on the boy experience and I wouldn't miss having the comfort at probably a well-lit restaurant? How would you balance that?
I mean, I don't know. We've never really thought about it that way.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we've actually not thought about it that way. Because so the concept, like the reason why Jabul also came about is because we actually want to make Khasi food accessible.
Yeah.
Right? So accessible to anyone without the thing of that factor of judging what a place looks like.
True.
And therefore you automatically just assume what the food will be like in the place.
Uh-huh.
So that's why when we spoke about it, I feel like a cloud kitchen would have been the ideal space to do that, to make the food accessible to almost anybody.
So one, we've talked about Khasi food a lot and about what we get here. Apart from all of that, what do you guys enjoy personally? What cuisine do you normally like to eat, whether here at home or when you travel? What is one cuisine and food that you enjoy? Daki?
I personally, because there's so many that are so good, right? You can't really pick and choose. But I think for me personally, like I've kind of narrowed it down to, I really like cuisines that combine the element of sweet and savory and sour together. So like Mexican food is great.
Okay.
Thai food is great. They all have that element of the mix of everything, right? But I also, again, I'm very, I love coastal food, like Goan food and even like Kerala food.
Yeah, we both love Kerala food.
So, and also coconut. I love stuff that has coconut in it. I'm such a sucker for like coconut in food. So, yeah, those I think would be like my top choices.
Duffy?
Pizza. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Yeah, I love pizza.
But of course, you're into baking, so you can make your own pizzas as well.
I think, I love anything that's cheesy. I love cheese. And Kerala food. I love Kerala food. And even like, I love Khasi food. Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, let's move on now to probably, I'd call it the last segment, and that is the rapid fire. I've got a few questions prepared, and any one of you can answer.
Okay.
All right, we don't have a timer, but you can take your time. One word, you can give an explanation, so I won't be that rigid.
Okay. All right.
Begin. One ingredient you'd remove from Meghalayan cooking forever.
Bamboo shoot for me.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Daffy doesn't like bamboo shoot. I like bamboo shoot.
Okay.
I don't think, okay.
You won't
not answer that.
No, so you won't remove it. What about you? You won't remove anything?
I can't think of anything right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
One dish you could eat every day for a year.
Pansadi.
Oh my God, I like too many things. I can't choose.
Jado or Tungrumbai, pick one for the rest of your life.
Jado, yeah.
Okay. One person, alive or dead, you'd cook a full meal for.
My grandmom.
Oh,
That's enduring. Yeah.
I think I would cook Khasi food for Anthony Bourdain. I think he should have tried Khasi food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Best food city in India that isn't Shillong.
Bangalore?
Bangalore.
Yeah. Bangalore is great.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why do you say Bangalore?
like it's so cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
They have so much food there, and like there's so many
The
up
food
and
scene
coming
is really good. Yeah.
great
Okay.
restaurants in Bangalore.
Yeah.
One cafe in Shillong you actually love going to?
I don't think we're very cafe people actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really.
I mean, I've
go to
gone
cafes
to Faraway
Okay.
a few times.
Mhm.
I like the coffee
Okay.
and I like the space.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they do a really good smoked pork pizza.
Okay. A food trend you are completely done with?
Cruffins.
What are cruffins?
Yeah. You don't need to know.
Really?
It's good you don't know.
What are cruffins?
What is it? Like a
It's a
muffin?
croissant muffin.
Yeah,
A croissant and a muffin.
Yeah.
it's one thing. Yeah, like
Yeah.
All right. So if your cooking had a soundtrack, one song, you're into music, you love to sing, so
these are such tough ones. Yeah, you're making me narrow it all down to one thing, which is so hard.
Song.
that's why it's called a rapid fire.
Yeah, I'm very bad at rapid fire. I don't think
One
I have
song.
good answers for rapid fire.
I can't think of any right now. Sorry.
Okay.
Not very
Daki.
rapid.
Can't think.
I'm
of
giving you a
one
lot of time. All right, let's move on. The dish your mother makes that you will never be able to replicate exactly.
I think it's mom's. She does like a chili chicken thing, and I tried to make it in Bombay once, remember? And it just
And it
did
was a
not taste the
disaster.
same. Yeah, it was not the same.
Okay. So we will end the podcast with one question, and I want both of you to answer it. And then,
So this is not rapid fire?
no, there's no rapid fire. So, why should everyone taste Khasi cuisine at least once in their lifetime? Who wants to go first?
I would say because we have, like what we had said before, we have a lot of indigenous ingredients that actually grow only here. Yeah, definitely that, because we have so much to offer in terms of ingredients and like wild herbs that grow that nobody knows about.
True.
Yeah.
Daki.
For me, it is, I think the biggest takeaway from all of the pop-ups that we've done, which is also going to be the answer to this question, is the fact that people have this, like they just stereotype the northeastern states. And they think that we all eat the same thing. They think that we all eat bamboo shoot, we all eat pork and things like that. But one of the things that we learn from our pop-ups is that people always say that we did not expect this food to be like Indian food.
Yeah.
It is like of the Indian subcontinent, so it's Indian food, right? But they all think that it's just what we eat in the Northeast is all the same. So it's been actually really nice to be able to break that stereotype
Yeah.
through our food.
Right.
So I think that's my biggest thing for what we're doing.
Well, ladies, that brings us to the end of the podcast. I'd have to say that both of you have been extraordinary, fantastic with everything that we've had so far. Thank you so much for being as simple and vibrant as the food that we eat. Thank you so much that all of it wasn't pretentious.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you, more importantly, for the fact that you're able to take Khasi food out from the boundaries of the state to the world, one dish at a time. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Glad to be given this opportunity, honestly.
Yeah.
So
This was fun.
Been really nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.